Audubon 2456.
Alright, welcome back to part 4 of our discussion on Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Man, this was a long section. It was a good section. This game has been a crazy roller coaster ride of emotions for me. I've hated both my co-hosts for making me play it. I've had moments of triumph, moments of sadness. So let's really just get through the introductions here. Let's starting off, Nick. How things going, Nick?
Going pretty good. How things going for you?
They're going okay. It's this game has put me in a weird place. I look forward to discussing it, but boy, this was the roughest game we've, I think, done, because there's been so many highs but so many lows, so many deep lows. Michael, tell me about the highs and lows of Metal Gear.
My experience has mostly been an absolute high until I got the end result screen, which I shared with the both of you, and I put it on our Twitter. I killed a guy. I'm ashamed to admit.
You know, my favorite thing about that, you put it up on Reddit, and the Reddit comment section was both supportive and then a bunch of dummies being like, well, why did you kill that one guy for? It's like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't know you killed somebody.
I did. No one floated down a river. And I figured out why after doing some research. Apparently, I was telling you way back in part 1, well, it feels like a year ago at this point, was that I did something called the Ocelot Time Paradox, where when Ocelot's laying there incapacitated, you can shoot him and you'll get an Easter egg and an achievement for doing the Time Paradox. The Colonel from Metal Gear Solid 1 will appear and say, you've created a time paradox, what have you done? But yeah, so I did that thinking it's like, oh, it's a fun goof. But if you do that, apparently that counts as a kill if you don't reset the game. I was thinking, oh, he's not really dead, he's still alive right here. But no,
that seems like an unintentional thing, because if you think about that, maybe the game doesn't assume that you're going to know about the time paradox thing, or I don't know. It just seems unintentional that would trigger as a death.
So did it give you a mission fail screen after that?
Yeah,
like, obviously you have to restart.
It gives you a mission fail, but apparently if I shoot a guy with my pistol, I would have to, in order for that not to count as a kill, I can't just die. I'd have to restart from my last save.
But, like, in theory, you did restart from your last save when mission failed and you restarted the checkpoint, right?
Yeah, but it also keeps tabs of, when you do that, it also keeps tabs of how many continues you use, how many alerts you use, and that's a part of the same counter system.
Ridiculous.
It is.
That seems
kill should be its own separate counter, because you're like restarting that section over again. So in theory, you could have a higher body count by just dying over and over again and racking up body count to the thousands.
See, that doesn't seem right to me. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be counted against you. I feel bad for you, because you had, like, literally, we've now on 4 podcasts here talking about how you were not killing anybody, and then to know that you got all the way to the end.
I'm still calling this a successful no-kill run, just because no one floated down the river. It's all good.
No, it's a no-kill run. The video game just screwed you over.
And I lost.
I disagree with this.
I missed out on 30G. I did not get the Peace Walker achievement, so it doesn't count. I wanted that Peace Walker achievement.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, it's so far back in the game. It's not like you can just like go to a save, 5-10 hours back. It's at the very beginning.
A part of me is like, okay, I played this recently. I can skip all the cutscenes and maybe can do like a 3 or 4 hour speed run of this game since I know it so well. But that means I'd have to. I could just crank it down to very easy and just literally steamroll through this game just to get that achievement again.
I have a feeling this will not be the last time you play Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh no! I'll probably play it. I'll probably pop it again next year, going Metal Gear Solid 3 is pretty good, right?
Yeah, so I feel like there'll be another chance.
There's going to be another time for me to do this, but
we usually do around the horn, talk about what we've been doing, but this is such a in-depth section, and I think we want to make sure we give ourselves some time. So let's just jump right into this. Last time we ended our session on the cutscene where you have the interactions with Eva in the cave. Eva sets up basically the last part of the game. It's giving you the last objectives. Here's a thing I learned about 12 hours after we recorded that podcast. C3, real thing.
It is a real thing.
Real thing. Yeah, C3, real thing.
C2 and C is also a real thing.
Yeah.
So I feel really dumb.
Well, we'll just add that to the list of corrections that we've had to make. I mean, this is not the first time. It will not be the last time that we're wrong about something. So we'll just go ahead and throw that out there. We now know C3, real thing.
It's not that we were wrong. We were just
we were wrong.
confident about our ability to know.
No, I'm pretty sure we were wrong because I think I've said out loud, C3 is not a real thing. Basically, we leave that cave and we're going down a little hallway going back into Groznygrad to launch the kind of final part of this operation. We're going to blow up the Shagrahad, and inevitably we're going to have our confrontation with the boss. This is never a good sign in video games when it's a long hallway with nothing but stuff for you to get.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're walking down the hallway, there was some bullets, there was some bandages, those things like that, just in little unnecessary for architectural reasons off to the side hallways, just so you can get
kit, bro.
Yeah, just so you can get first aid kit stuff. And the first note on my page here is not a good sign when there's just a hallway full of stuff. Also, you go up a ladder and there is no song.
Yeah.
This is a problem because I established last time all ladders in this game must play the song, even if it's only a 2 to 3 ring ladder. Going back into Groznygrad, you're supposed to kind of get the feeling that like security is heightened, but once again, I had no issues at all getting around Groznygrad. Did anybody have any problems actually getting into the facility again?
Actually, yes, we were talking about my no-kill run. So, after the cutscene...
Wait, we gotta go back. We can no longer refer to it as a no-kill run.
Your single kill run.
My single kill run.
Okay, let's get it
Okay,
right
in
now.
my single kill run. So, I made sure whenever you get your gear back, it auto-equips some of the stuff. So, I went ahead and took out all like the lethal weapons, all the fork I had, and just put it with my non-lethal supply, which is smoke grenades, the M9... M9?
MK22.
Mach 2.
Mach 2.
So that, my stun grenades, smoke grenades, all of that good stuff. After the cutscene where all of a sudden Groznygrad is overtaken with tanks, Snake has his 1911 in his hand. And it does not de-equip it. I did not have it in my backpack. Like, it was in my backpack. It wasn't in my inventory. But Snake auto-equips that. Thinking I had the Mach 2, I just went around and killed a bunch of soldiers, and I had to restart the entire section. It wasn't until I saw blood spurt from one of them and went, oh wait, no, I'm shooting the wrong gun. I had never had this gun in my inventory until the moment Snake was like, I'm gonna have this in a cutscene.
This game does like a continuity between cutscene and gameplay that they take very seriously, because there's a couple of times like that where the game will equip an item, like on the motorcycle coming up with like the RPG or something. You'll equip that even if you don't have it in the
Which
backpack.
is good in some... It's ultimately a good thing, but for the way I was using it, it was not a good thing for me, just because I wanted to maintain that low kill counts.
Yeah. Maybe it was
That
the game...
single digit
That single
digit.
kill count.
Maybe it was the game telling you, like, hey man, you've already killed somebody. You might as well have some fun and shoot some people in the head. Nick, did you have any problems getting into Groznygrad?
No, because much like I entered it the first time, you just walk through that door and blow everybody away with the AK.
Well, I'm talking about particularly the outside. Like, the tanks come rolling in, like, there's increased security, and I was really kind of prepping myself from, like, this big, tough mission. And, like, there's, like, 3-4 guys in every section still. It's not really that high security.
And the route you go is very close to the doors you need to get to. Like,
Yeah,
the
just
tanks, you just
stroll
go
on
straight
in.
through that door, and then there's a bunch of guards in that next section, but if you run quickly and then turn to an immediate sharp left, you're in the northwest section of Groznygrad.
Yeah, like, I was kind of prepping myself for some sections where it would force me to go out in the open or something like that. You can hug the wall the whole time. I mean, there's really no issue. which I didn't have any issues the first time I went into Grad sneaking around. So I just was kind of, the game sets it up like they know you're coming, but they just parked some tanks out in the driveway there and just called it a day. When we re-enter Grad, thinking I'm a smart guy, I instantly equip the Major's uniform.
Same. That does not work this time.
And I'm like, bam, I have a Major's uniform. They'll never know it's me. And I walk up to the first guy, and he pulls a gun out on me and starts shooting me.
Yeah.
So, wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
I want to say I do this every single time I play, because I always forget, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But the alert goes away whenever you go into the Shagohod area. Like, all the timers restart.
See,
So they just forgot about me when I went into the Shagohod holding cell.
But it still doesn't work as like a suitable camouflage in that area too, because that was my idea. I waited until I got in there, and I was like, this guy seems like he'd be hanging around this giant tank that could end the world.
well, he's like an officer, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's a big deal. I could see him being able to walk through this whole section. You know, the game doesn't take away that uniform from you, so I just kind of assumed that I could wear it. But yeah,
You also still have the Ivan mask as well, so...
Yeah, like it gives you all the material you need to do that whole costume. But
Which there is a section you can use that Ivan mask for your benefit. We'll get to it.
in this section?
Yeah, in this whole section of the game here.
Oh, okay. Well, didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
This is just literally, we're going right back through the same section that we were going through the first time. There's no changes. You can do what I did, which get discovered while dressed as the Major, and then put a lot of people down and just walk the rest of the way. Or you can stealth around. It's kind of just, I was kind of disappointed in this because we're going back into Groznygrad. I was kind of hoping for some changes here, but it's almost a one-to-one. What you do now get to do is when you go in through the locker room where before you went on to find Sokolov, here you can actually go into that door to get down into the hangar where the Shagohod is. Mm-hmm. And this is where our kind of main objective is. We're going to be placing 4 charges.
Yeah.
4 charges on fuel tanks to blow the Shagohod up.
It's a 20-minute timer, and Eva's got a bridge ready to blow for your escape route. You're going to ride with her on a motorcycle, blow the bridge, and then all
Right
will
off
be...
into the sunset.
Yeah, right off into the sunset. This section in here was kind of frustrating to me. I did the first 2 charges, but then Eva called me right after the second charge. That threw me off because I lost track of where the guy who I was trying to hide from was. So I walked out right in front of him. And, of course, naturally, now I had to kill some people.
Did you guys not use the maintenance outfit?
What maintenance outfit?
If you go back to the locker room, there's like a locker with a red stripe. You open that, you get a sick black Russian camo, which is not... I just use it for the last part of this game. But then in the locker across from that is a crew outfit that like you're just one of the guys that are in there. And
That's
it's
really
like
cool.
the easiest thing that you like. You just walk up to 4 things and press Y.
So you can just walk around?
Yeah.
So this whole big stealth section for me, you just walked into
They
the
literally
maintenance
have
guy.
to see you planting C4 to be like, this guy doesn't belong here.
I did not do that. I had to kill some people, and then the game will not allow you to plant C4 while alert is going.
Yep.
Even after I killed everybody. So like I killed everybody, and
You had
so
to
the
wait for
alert.
it.
So I had to stand by the fuel tank and just wait for the alert to go down to put the last 2 charges down.
It went bad for me the first 2 times, but the third time I just tried, because it got to the point where it was so annoying that like whenever I got discovered, I just stood there and let the guards kill me. Just to all right.
I actually did that a couple of times. I did that a couple of times in the beginning of the game, and that's when you realize how non-lethal most of the guards are. Like, there was a point in the warehouse. Remember, cast your mind back to the warehouse. And I got discovered, there was the shield guys, and I was like, okay, I'm going to redo this and try to do this battle. I'll let them kill me. And, man, it took like 5-10 minutes for them to get the job done.
Sitting there ripping through full clips.
Yeah. Well, then the most dangerous thing they can do is like a knife strike. So I was like getting in their faces, trying to get them to stab me with a knife, but instead they're just emptying magazines at point blank range and hitting me 2 out of 30 times.
It takes a surprisingly long time for Snake to die.
Well,
but bosses have no trouble killing him.
A boss will kill you in a second. Yeah, a boss will kill you in a second.
It's weird because it seems like specific types of damage will do more damage to Snake. Like melee damage, plus 50%. Bullet damage, negative 20%.
The shotguns would do some damage to you.
A shield damage is like half of a bar. Is crazy.
But the standard AK-47 shot,
it's nothing.
You can just wade right through those. This section was kind of it's going to sound like I'm really down on this whole part of the game, but it's really this section all the way up to this point was kind of blah to me. And then it kicks off from here. Once you place the 4 C4 charges, here comes Vulcan. There's a weird point in which Snake takes the heart-shaped C3, molds it into a butterfly, then
throws it up in
the air and catches it and says, "Gotcha."
Is there like a connection between a butterfly and the boss?
I don't. This probably connects to something. I do not know what it is. I wrote that down with a question mark going, he molds the explosive into a butterfly?
And like the way he says "gotcha," he looks into the camera like it's supposed to be like, ha ha. And instead I was just like, cool, man. Kind of wasted some time here, didn't we?
It's probably a thing.
Is it probably? It's like a reference or something.
Maybe. I just don't know what it is. Someone will point it out to me, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's what it."
It's going to show up somewhere.
So you can point out somebody having diarrhea to 2 games ago, but not a butterfly to something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, it's the important things that stick with you, Nick.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
That diarrhea guy gets the whole subplot in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yes, I got cornered by somebody. There was a listener who, I know this guy very vaguely. I appreciate that he listens to the show. But he gave me a full rundown of the history of Johnny. And I appreciated that rundown. It just made me dislike that guy more, and now I wish I would have put him down.
So my question is is that what you were laughing about?
Yes.
Because I didn't know. I thought maybe you were laughing because that's the name that Snake gives Ocelot at the end of the game.
No.
Okay.
We'll get to that because I have questions about that last scene. But yeah, he gave me a full rundown of Johnny. Apparently, Johnny's like the Carmine of Metal Gear.
Yes. The guy who always dies? Is that what we're talking about?
He's a guy who's always
he's a literal
himself.
punching bag.
Okay.
Like he has crapped himself in multiple games apparently. Okay. So that's the thing he
and
does.
The fact that you run into the dude's father
is a generational trait.
Yeah, it's a generational. They have irritable bowel syndrome, and yet continue to join the military.
Hey, like kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, right on. That's true patriotism.
It worked out for Johnny in the end, though. But
okay, like I don't know how it works out for Johnny. My Johnny.
There's a whole scene where it's like the whole Mr. and
father
split.
Eric's Johnny loses a father even though he was spared. Sorry.
So there's a whole bit in Metal Gear Solid 4 that's basically Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where him and one of the leading women of Metal Gear Solid are running through like a hallway, and they literally are like, "Hey, let's get married," as they're like doing like gun fu from like John Wick or something. It is.
This is in Metal Gear Solid 4?
Yeah, there's a lot in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay, we'll talk about this at the end of this, but me and Metal Gear have some conversations. Yeah, so Johnny aside, we get discovered by Vulcan. The boss shows up. Once again, the boss beats the crap out of us.
Snake does surprisingly well. He kind of holds his own, but then gets stomped.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he's starting to know the boss's patterns. Like, he's starting to get the edge on it.
I think you're supposed to also assume that he's starting to actually try to fight back. That was the kind of vibe I got.
Gotcha.
Well, in the first few meetings, I think you're supposed to believe that Snake is holding himself back because he doesn't want to do it. And this is Snake trying. Like, he's still losing, but he's actually trying now. Like, that's the vibe I picked up on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might be wrong there. Vulcan references Eva as this woman multiple times, even though he's been sleeping with her. And I can't tell if that was supposed to be like he doesn't know who she actually is now, or if Volgan just forgets who she is, because he acts at first like he doesn't know who she is and then acts like he does.
Well, he knows that she's the spy because she has the Philosopher's Legacy. I just think he doesn't know what to call her. I was like,
Okay. Because it's just like somebody you knew as this one person has actually been like 4 different people in the last 3 hours of this game.
Yeah, it's like, and now yeah. But he also references the fact that she was with Sokolov, which was the question we had last time.
I think that was a cover.
Was she with Sokolov or was she not? I'm still confused on that whole situation. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of this game.
Ocelot once again acts like he knew from the get-go.
It was gasoline. As he touches his nose, I got it.
Okay, I'll tell you. Here's a spoiler for the rest of this show. I was told last time that I was going to come around on Ocelot. Guess who didn't come around on Ocelot?
How? Okay.
No, we'll go from there.
How did you not come around on Ocelot? He was playing everybody.
He's cool. Ocelot is cool.
Yes.
If there's one statement that gets pull quoted out of this, Ocelot is cool.
Reissue
Cooler
this game,
than Snake.
put it on the back of the box. I agree, absolutely.
Yes.
Ocelot is awesome.
Ocelot is cool at 2 points in this section. He is not cool for the rest of it.
Well, I want to hear right now what they are, because if it's not what I'm thinking, it's actually 3.
It's the point at the end where he's making the phone calls.
He was at him. Cool. He was at him all along.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I do like the fight on the plane.
Yeah.
Where that's just straight up, it's a blank. Like, ha! It does the finger gun. And then jumps. We're talking over each other, which is not good podcasting, but it's because everybody likes this part. I was like, touche, Ocelot.
And so if you just extrapolate that from the entire situation, that's Ocelot, I feel like. Is that not Ocelot?
That is Ocelot.
He's not working for somebody. He, by his own volition, got a hover bike and chased down an airplane to have a fake gun battle with some dude that he met a week ago.
Okay, so tell me this. Maybe Ocelot played me.
Yeah,
absolutely. He does. He betrays in every single game. He betrays every single person. He's just there to have a good time. And the only person in this series he does not betray is Big Boss. He does not betray Big Boss. He's always loyal to him to the end.
So, because here's the question. My experiences with Ocelot, because I played this game series weird.
Mm-hmm.
Played this one, and then I played 5. Because when I tried 5, I really liked the gameplay side of 5, and I played through 5. Ocelot in that is on Big Boss's side. He's there from the get-go. And he's kind of cool in that.
He's voiced by Troy Baker. So he has a Western thing going on. He's wearing cowboy boots and everything.
He's got a bandana.
Yeah,
he's cool. But I guess because I did not play 1 and 2, maybe I don't have context for Ocelot that I'm missing for this. Because those particular parts, Ocelot's pretty cool. Everything else, I don't like them. But we'll get there. So
you don't even like when he's standing above you, doing call-outs for you to kill Volgan.
I made a message for the boss. I made a promise to the boss, and then does his finger guns. You're pretty good finger guns.
My only criticism for Ocelot is that his finger guns need to be more snappy and less deliberate.
Yeah,
it needs to just be like a pop, not like a tease you in and then kind of hold it. No, it's just bang bang.
Well, he hones them in. By 4, he does a good he raises his hands up and then does a quick motion like that.
All right.
Draw. It's really good. I
think some of this is also that Ocelot, if you're supposed to get the sexual attention with the slow finger guns. The pop is just kind of friendly. The slow finger guns, that's like, hey, you know what's up.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah.
He does it in every interaction with the slow. If I could actually get behind it more, if there was a different move set with each this is what I mean by this finger gun.
Oh man, if the finger guns were like an entry into his soul.
Everybody gets the context of what he means to the point where he never has to talk again. It's just watch the hands.
Actually, yeah. You're not wrong.
Is that a thing that happens in Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid 4. That entire those finger guns are supposed to break down. Oh, everything I thought I knew is completely different. There's a bit in 4 where it hinges on those finger guns.
All right.
It's all connected.
How y'all feel about playing Metal Gear Solid 4?
We can't jump
actually
right into
considering
4.
it. I'm actually considering
4
it.
is the most insane game I've ever played. 1, 2, and 3 are on the highest bar of video games I can recommend. 4 is off on its own land, doing its own thing. I respect it. I love Metal Gear Solid 4. I will not call it a great video game.
This isn't the one that you said was like good for like 10 minutes and then terrible for the rest of the game.
No, he doesn't like 5.
5 is a great game that I do not enjoy.
5 is okay. I was not invested in the Metal Gear lore when I played 5.
Mm-hmm.
I like 5 because it just so happens to be one of the best stealth games I've ever played. Like, I played 5 completely opposite of this game. In 5, I was consistently going 5-6 hours straight without getting spotted, because it gives you so many tools, and the tools are so intuitive with how the game plays that you can do things where, like, I was scouting out a 4 base, completely had it scouted out, set my timer to make sure I went in at night, planned everything out, and I felt like a true spec, like a spec ops kind of operation there. Some of this is just the time in which this game was made. I know that. Doesn't allow you to do that particular kind of gameplay style. But because of that, I wasn't playing through 5 because I loved the Metal Gear universe. I was playing through 5 because I thought it played really well. I think you went into it with all these preconceived notions of being a Metal Gear fan, which you had the right to. It's Metal Gear 5. You should go in with those notions. I'm not defending that. But it doesn't deliver on that kind of stuff.
Oh no, it's the story's unfinished. Like, it completely is. I went in and I just spoiled myself on everything. Read all of the cool bits where 5 is supposed to tie in. Only to discover that a lot of it was cut from the game or completely scrapped.
We gotta stop talking.
We're gonna let's get back into 3
because this is after we're done. We'll talk about.
But before we get back into 3, what about the zombie game?
All right, whatever. Let's get back into this.
So Ocelot is like, it was gasoline, and he has a gun on Snake and everything.
This whole section is, basically, Volgin beats the crap out of Eva, tells the boss to go take care of her. Boss drags Eva off with, drags her off, and then Volgin's like, I'm gonna kill you, Snake. Volgin does a whole plot twist in which he straight up says, before I kill you, I will explain it to you.
Well, Snake kind of leads him on, because there's a hold right bumper to see the Sorrow with a countdown, with the timer just kicking down. So in that moment, Snake is like, what about the Philosopher's Legacy? And then Volgin literally says, I'll explain it before I kill you.
Yeah, I wrote
So he's
that
just buying time, as this was the exposition dump I was talking about with the Philosopher's Legacy. I hope you know all about the Philosopher's Legacy now after that 10 minutes.
It was kind of disappointing. Like, I thought it was going to be something a little bit more like crazy.
No,
but it's basically just money. It's just a large amount of money that was stored away.
A bunch of powerful people have a bunch of money that they use to fund their own political interests and everything.
Yeah, which is also the exact same thing he kind of explained earlier in the game. Anyways,
yeah,
when he was beating you up, it's just like, nah, still just money, bro.
Well, and Eva does something similar in the end where she explains the Philosopher's Legacy again, and it's kind of just rehashing it.
Well, a lot of the stuff that Eva fills in is stuff that leads to the Patriots in Metal Gear Solid 2. They discussed something called the Wise Man's Committee. That was a group from the 1920s that they all died around that time, and it wasn't until later on that we discovered at the end of the game that the philosophers are working their way back in the world.
Okay, which I get that, but it feels like it's like I said, I'm missing context.
So all of the bits that you're like, that seems inconsequential, are big for filling in gaps with 2.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Volgin straight up strips off his Russian military uniform to reveal that he has a classic Marvel comic supervillain uniform on. Then we are thrown into a pit where we're going to fight Volgin. And this is the section you were talking about, Nick, where Ocelot's throwing down supplies to you. And Volgin's just straight up like, hey, man, Whose side are you on? Like, jeez.
Also, what plays it off is that he's mad at Vogan because he's not letting him fight you. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I want to kill Snake.
Well, he straight up asks Vogan. He's like, "Let me kill him," and Vogan's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do it." This is the part in which I stripped down to naked Snake because I felt like this is the point in the action movie where you would take your shirt off, and beat the shit out of the guy, and.
I mean, that's kind of what he did.
Yeah, and Vogan took his shirt off,
Alright,
so
guess
I'm
what,
taking
dude?
my shirt
Get
off.
naked too. They don't call me Naked Snake for nothing.
Exactly.
In order for that to work, this needs like 10 times more steam and pipes, just in random locations.
I think it works kind of pretty well, actually. This feels kind of like a moment out of like Commando. If you
Yeah.
ever seen Commando.
I do have a question though. So if you're in I don't know if it works in the second go through on Groznygrad, but if you go through the first time and you like interrogate the scientist, they make like 3 out of the 5 dialogue options that they have is to tell you that Volgan is susceptible or like weak to water.
Yeah.
Is there any relevance to this game?
I could not find a way to do. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is a way.
Odd. Like,
Is
I
there
don't
like
understand why they would tell you that.
Okay, talking about 5, there's a water pistol in 5 that completely. Okay. In 5, is my understanding, Volgan comes back
As the man on fire.
as the man on fire in 5, and you can fight that boss fight by hitting him with a water pistol. Or with hitting him with, like, putting him in these situations where you can shoot something that shoots water on him. So I don't know if that is insane to think that might be a reference to that coming up. It is an insane notion. I just thought that was weird because I realized Volgan was the man on fire at the end of the Volgan saga that's coming up. And that would be the only connection I could see, but I have no clue how that would be that far ahead. Unless he had that man on fire stuff all the way back in 2000 and
2005.
Why would
I
they
don't
mention
think so.
it? Why would they mention it?
I'm not. I mean, dude, I'm just telling you the closest thing I can
There's-
think of.
there's
I'm trying to get
probably
a
a
door
way.
frequency.
Could
He's
you,
telling
like-
me about the water type, same type attack bonuses that I can get against Volgan.
Is there like
like water pipes overhead.
water pipes overhead
Not that
that
I
if you look
noticed.
up you could shoot or something? There
Not
might
that
be.
I noticed. I will tell you right now, this is actually a really good boss fight.
This was the hardest boss fight for me.
I imagine it was hard for you. It wasn't really that bad for me because this boss fight is all about combining melee with melee takedowns. Like I would just get close enough to him when he was in a state where you could grab him and throw him to the ground, then just shoot him a bunch on the ground. But his attacks are pretty decently, but they're pretty good attacks. Like there's a good pattern to them.
I
like
agree
this
with you
fight.
for the first half of this boss fight. The second half of this boss fight, it feels like there is, for me, I could not find a consistent way to dodge.
Oh,
really
you're talking about
anything.
the particular part where he like
Fires a whole bunch of bullets at
and
you.
it covers. You know how I get by that?
How?
You time your dive
I
to
thought
right
that was
before
it.
he
I just-
did it, and I could be wrong. I don't know. I never got hit when I was in the air.
Gotcha.
So if I could dive forward at the moment he threw out the bullets, I wouldn't get hit. But if I was still on my feet, like if I mistimed it at all, I would get hit.
Gotcha.
That was the only way I found to dodge those consistently. I went into this fight with a lot kind of a low health, and so I had an issue where I was trying to use that life backpack item to bring back my health, but that slowly charges it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a frustrating situation while I was trying to bring back health. If I get hit once, it would knock me right back down to like a low health status. But I think that was just because I went into it at a bad health. I like this boss fight personally.
Oh, he's a
I
good
was-
boss fight. He was just really hard for me in the second phase.
That's pretty cool.
This is really when things just kick off. You beat Volgan. Did anybody wait till the timer went off, or did everybody beat him?
I beat him.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. I beat him.
Okay, because I believe that you can probably just wait till the timer goes off, because that timer kicks in at like 3 minutes. It straight up puts it on the screen. So I wonder what happens if you just wait till the timer goes off. Have you ever done that, Michael?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
I don't know what happens there. I've
Yeah, I
always
wonder if
tried
he-
to beat him before the timer.
I wonder if it explodes or if he just.
It's probably a game over, is my guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I just was thinking maybe like the explosions go off and Snake uses it as a way to escape or something. So killed Vogan. shirtless Snake. Snake just kind of like pieces out. Like Vogan goes down into like a down but not out state, and Snake's just kind of like, peace out, time to go.
Eva shows up with her motorcycle and she says that the boss let her go, and at this point we don't know why yet. That's just like okay, that's weird. Let's get out of here.
As you're running out, like I like that everybody else is just belling.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, yelling in the most comedic way possible. We gotta get out of here, and like falling all over themselves. There's a point in which these guys get super tactical at one point. And it makes no sense to me because this entire game is made like standard Russian military troops look like freaking dorks. But like these guys are just like tripping all over the place. You hop on the motorcycle with Eva, and then here comes Volgan inside the Shagohod.
Which can crawl.
The Shagohod looks cool when it's not crawling. It doesn't look cool when it's crawling to me. Like when it's like shooting down like the runway, it looks cool, but like the crawling stuff just doesn't look as cool. Also, Ocelot does not run out of the building. Everyone else is running for their lives, and Ocelot just kind of slowly walks his way out. I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, he also grabs a motorcycle and joins in the chase.
Chases you down.
His spurs make sparks on the ground when he turns. It's really cool.
This is actually a really cool sequence, but the problem is Eva drives a motorcycle like the Marines in Halo drive the Warthog. Where like I feel like I can't tell if it's like if it's scripted like this.
That's
or
what I was
not.
thinking too. Like, is this on rails or is she just running into stuff on purpose?
Like I can't tell. Like
it's on rails.
It's on rails because there's moments where she'll sit really awkwardly for a long period of time. And I've killed everybody around, so it's not like she's waiting for me to shoot somebody. And like there's parts, especially when there's like the Shagohods out there where the tanks are, where I felt like she was just kind of like randomly driving in circles, and I can't tell because there's no way at that point to damage the Shagohod.
Right.
So I don't know why. Like I was confused at that point because I'm like, okay, am I supposed to be shooting this thing with an RPG? It doesn't do anything.
Well, I had the tranquilizer. I didn't have any of the. I didn't want to accidentally kill any of the guards, so I'm like, okay, this thing won't kill me because this whole bit's basically a really cool Universal Studios ride.
Yeah, it really
where you're just going. It's like the Shagohod like creeps in from behind the building, and you're like, oh no, we gotta move to the next thing. It'd be a really fun ride, but I was just going with a tranquilizer, just like on the side, just like shooting. Just guards. Like,
the game also gives you.
This would be the point where you would grab like the M60 gun and just Snake yells as you hold the button down. Pretty cool.
It gives you unlimited ammo at this point also, so you can just drop rounds left and right, you know. So it is a cool sequence, and I like how Snake, from an animation point of view, kind of moves himself around the sidecar, like he kind of adjust themselves in cool ways where he's sitting like up on top of it when he's looking backwards and stuff. It's kind of cool how that works. Once again, like I said, Eva, I couldn't tell. I thought it was not on rails, to be honest with you, because she would just sit at weird places for a long period of time. Ocelot's on a bike. We're fighting dudes on motorcycles. We're fighting guys who are just shooting at us from the ground. We at one point got to deal with a helicopter that's shooting at us or taking off, and then Volgan runs over the helicopter at one point. Volgan's going out of his way to kill his own guys.
The Shagohod headbutts the helicopter. It gets up and it uses the cockpit to just headbutt the helicopter.
Well, he intentionally is trying to kill his own guys too. Volgan's just full on, everyone dies.
During this bit, some debris is also about to fall on Ocelot, and then Snake uses an RPG to save his life. So
yeah, I remember that. I thought that was kind of weird. This is a very, very long sequence. Your description of this being a Universal Studios ride is very, very accurate. It's a cool sequence, but it kind of goes on a little bit long.
Yeah.
The coolest moment, though, after you're going down the runway, and there's a bunch of stuff on the runway, you take on a bunch of guys on bikes, is when you realize that you're going to the bridge in which Eva's already rigged with explosives. Mm-hmm. And there's a cool moment when you go across that bridge. Snake jumps out with a sniper rifle, and you shoot the explosives on the bridge as the Shagohod goes over it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a cool moment. Eva's like calling it out, like wait, hit it, and you shoot them right when she tells you to. That's a really cool moment.
There's a bit where Eva during this section calls Volgin a blockhead, like she's from
Yeah.
Charlie Brown. That really stood out to me.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I thought that was I don't know what was up with that one. Once the Shagohod goes down with the bridge, yay, we beat the Shagohod. No, you did not.
Boss fight.
Boss fight again.
The easiest boss fight in the game, surprisingly.
It's time consuming though for me because it's easy. You hit the treads, then you hit the back of the Shagohod. But Eva wouldn't line me up with the back of the Shagohod half the time.
I just kept non-stop shooting the treads until I got a good position.
Well,
Because Did you guys figure out the quick reload trick by this point?
that if you bring the weapon down and bring it back up.
Where if you bring it down back up, it's fully reloaded. You don't have to watch
Yeah.
the animation.
Yeah.
So I was just right trigger, shoot the treads, right trigger, shoot the treads, right trigger, shoot the treads. Oh, it's open. Just doing that constantly.
For me, it was just a frustration of I would hit him. She'd be just like half an inch off.
Oh, gotcha.
And so she's like, you're staring through your scope on the RPG, waiting, and she would make a weird turn. So it was kind of frustrating. But it's a simple part of the boss fight, and then obviously, Shagohod's still not destroyed. Volgin crawls out of the Shagohod.
He takes the wires.
Pulls the wires up and drives the Shagohod while standing on top of it. And at this point, we just repeat the process again, but instead of shooting the Shagohod in the back, you hit the treads and then hit Volgin.
And you're on foot this time.
Yeah.
Because
Which-
Eva will occasionally run you over while you're trying to do your thing.
Right here. Literally just says, right here.
Learn how to
Got
drive.
hit by freaking Eva. And this is where I wrote down Eva can't drive. Because there was just a couple of times, especially in that section, where like I was lining up a shot on him because I was using the RPG and a sniper rifle.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Did anybody use the mounted machine guns that are sitting
I
around?
attempted that once, and it was just like, dude, it will not hit for anything.
Yeah,
RPG tranquilizer and that took it down pretty fast. Like, I don't think I moved much during this boss fight. I just stayed in literally one spot, just did the same thing. This is the giant tank is the easiest boss fight in this entire game.
well,
Yeah.
like I don't know about y'all, but I use that sniper rifle a ton in this game.
Mm-hmm.
That thing, you hit him in the head, and we'll get to a boss fight where that sniper rifle is going to be my saving grace. Well, like I tried at first to do the same thing of grabbing the 50 caliber and using the 50 cals, and like you would think that would how you would do it. There's conversation going around me that people are making fun of me behind my back. I know what's going on. There's some shady
I'm just
people.
so confused. What are you talking about?
What are you
The
talking-
sniper?
Yeah, I used it all the time.
In a future boss fight?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
I killed the boss with the sniper rifle.
She deflects bullets.
No, she does not. You hit her in the head. Okay, we'll get there.
Alright, whatever, dude.
You just not.
We'll
you're just
talk.
not
We'll
like
talk about that boss fight.
You're not a pro sniper like I am.
No, but okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So I tried to use the 50 cals. They sucked. The sniper rifle took them down in like 2 hits. So yeah, this is when the lightning strikes Volgin. That actually is what kills him. Is there any lore reason why Volgin is struck by lightning, or is it just a happy accident?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I was like, I kind of justified it as he's electricity man, so maybe that's why.
That's what I
He's
figured.
also
It's just
that's what I'm
channeling
thinking.
it, but it was just too much.
But it strikes him. That's the only thing. Like, it's not coming out of him. It strikes him. I don't know.
He catches fire, and that was like, oh, this is a cool tie to 5 with the whole
Yeah,
him
that's
catching
what-
fire and everything. I was like, that's a cool bit.
That's like he's the man on fire.
Yeah.
In Metal Gear Solid 5. Back on the bike we go. We gotta, make our final escape. We're heading down to the lake where there is a plane waiting for us. And obviously, this is when Eva's like, the boss is waiting for you too.
You have another ride section after defeating the Shagohod where you're going through the jungle in the rain with the motorcycle. This bit was really hard with the tranquilizer. It was very hard to aim that thing just because this being a 2005 PS2 game whenever it rains, it starts to get really hazy. So aiming that little tranquilizer to try to shoot the driver was...
Especially on those hover bikes.
Yeah.
Those hover bikes are kind of a pain here. They are kind of cool that they hit the trees like in Star Wars.
That is really fun.
Like if you hit dudes, they boom, boom, hit the trees. This was kind of... I kind of feel like this section's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah,
this is
I
like
agree.
this entire next like 5 minutes of just real gameplay is just like really strained on me.
This here's a little behind the scenes. So I played this on Tuesday night. I played the entire part up to the last part of the Vulcan boss fight, and the game was dragging on. I was in a just not in a place to continue playing this, and I made the mistake of accidentally quitting out without saving. So I had to play back through the entire Vulcan boss fight the entire thing on the runway and the entire fight with the Shagohod. But when you skip cutscenes, you can do this in like 10 minutes.
True.
But because on the bike, there's a bunch of unnecessary cutscenes in which Eva stops and talks to Snake, and it's just kind of unnecessary. Or they're just cool cutscenes where it's like here's Ocelot riding up beside you, kicking the bike and trying to shoot you, which are fine. But it's just I kind of thought it would be cooler if we could fight Ocelot on the bike, like if that was a gameplay section instead of just a cutscene. But I get why they don't do that. But this particular part right here just feels redundant. I don't feel like this really brings anything to the table.
Especially trying to play this section stealthy. Eva would not crawl.
Oh,
she would just stand in the canyon as people were just funneling through.
Okay, all right. So it's the same unit. There's 5 dudes that like revive themselves and spot Eva, who will not follow you if you're too far away. So like it'll do this thing where she'll stop in a canyon.
Hold up real quick. Just to get to there, on the bike, Eva crashes the bike because she's not looking at the road, and she gets injured, and we're basically guiding Eva after some health stuff to the lake. That's what we're at.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue. I just wanted to set the stage for that.
So Eva, it's an escort mission of the worst kind. Eva, it just sits in a canyon and like it's like use this button to get Eva to come to you, but she doesn't come to you.
You have to be within
right in front of her. And then even if when you do that, it pulls you to where you are. It's not like now she will follow you and now she will stop button.
Also, she is armed. Snake gives her a gun.
Mm-hmm.
She does not shoot that gun.
Oh, she shot it for me. Like in the canyon, she just popped dudes in the head.
No.
And I was just like, this better not mess up my kill run, Eva. You just popping dudes in the head.
No, she never.
So I looked it up and
killed
apparently
anybody for me.
I had to look it up and it was like, okay, this doesn't do it. But she'll only kill like 1 or 2 before getting knifed and then lay on the ground. And I was like, oh, now you decide to crawl. Thanks, Eva.
Yeah, so it's just like she's following me the entire time until she decides that she doesn't want to, and then it's like right in a choke point. So it's just like all those dudes revive, and they're just like, I found them right here, guys, and then just run over here.
I got so annoyed. I just walked up, CQC'd them down,
but
and just was like,
they keep coming back, man.
They do.
They
keep coming back. So I was slowly working my way through. It's like, oh, they're back again. Walk up, CQC them down, and then walk through until I finally got to the good part of this game.
I get a lot of flack for really liking Resident Evil 4. This escort section is worse than Ashley is in Resident Evil 4.
Absolutely. Ashley will at least listen to you when you call
will
out
at least
for...
follow you.
Yeah.
Like Eva...
Can you not pick that girl up too? You can pick Ashley up, right? Or am I thinking about The Legend of Zelda?
No, people pick her up, and when they pick her up, you have to shoot them so that she runs back.
But she at least follows you and sticks with you pretty close. Eva here, one is she took all my food because she constantly was complaining about being hungry. And like I can eat one ration and go 5-10 minutes worth of gameplay. Eva eats one ration, goes 10 feet, and then next thing I know, I'm so hungry. And like, I just gave you a ration.
If you fill her stamina bar, it's still not enough. Like you can have a full bag of stuff, and it's just like you get to the next like area where you walk through and it loads, and then she needs more.
I'm just thankful that this section is so short. If this was like a 30-minute section, this would kill this game. I'd be like everything else in this game, but this ruins it.
Okay,
but it's so short. It's like 10 minutes fumbling it, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but it totally kills the flow of this whole what's otherwise an amazing section of game here.
it ruins it for me. It actually has put me in a really bad headspace for the boss fight that comes up, because I was extremely frustrated by this section, because you have to walk like 2 feet in front of her to get her to follow you, and in a game about stealth, that's a problem, because how am I supposed to be focusing on my surroundings if I'm constantly turning around being like, follow me, and I could not get her to lay
Press
down.
triangle to do this little wave thing.
She wouldn't lay down with me. So they were spotting her left and right. She wasn't shooting anybody with me. There's a portion of the game. This is when I talk about that all of a sudden these Russian soldiers get super tactical, where they're like a whole squad's coming up behind you, and so I'm like, okay, Eva, follow me, and I went behind her and I placed a claymore down in this choke point, and I'm like, we're gonna blow up these guys as we escape. So I turn around, I go, follow me, thinking she was right behind me. Walk up like 10 feet. I hear the claymore go off, and I hear guys yelling like, "Oh crap!" And I turn around. Eva is standing about 2 feet in front of where the claymore was, and just surrounded by dudes going, "Help! Help!" and getting gunned and point blank range. And like by the point I got over there, they killed her. But she will not stick with you, even if they just made it automatic that she followed behind you. And if you went down your stomach, she would go down on her stomach.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, something. That's how it should have been. But instead, it's this literally like guide her to a spot, go up a few feet, guide her to a spot, go up a few feet. And like I would kill everybody in a section, and still it would be 5 minutes of guiding her to the next section. And if you went to that next section without her, it doesn't let you just continue. It makes you like Major Zero calls you on the phone, and he's like, "Hey man, you have to go back and get Eva because you left Eva behind." It just, this section really blows.
On top of that, I don't know if this is just like an audio bug for me, but is she just relentlessly talking shit to you the entire time?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was just me, but it's like you get in the space close enough to like pull her forward, and she's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Like the entire time, she's just talking crap relentlessly.
Well, like every time.
It's like, I just saved your life, dude.
Every time you walk around a corner or something, she's like, "Where do you go, Snake? Where you go, Snake?" It's like, I'm like 2 feet away from you. You can literally probably smell me.
The only good thing in this section is right when it starts, where like Eva's just ready to throw in the towel. Snake, they have like kind of a romantic moment. Snake's like, "I need you," and then Eva's like, "Say that again." He's like, "I need you. I can't fly the wig all by myself."
Literally, like everything else you bring to the table is secondary to the fact of I don't know how to fly a plane. So please. Also, there's this weird moment in that section where paramedic says something like, "You can work on saving Eva, but remember you only have limited medical supplies." Thinking that I was going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Like,
Nope.
Work on myself and work on her. I had like plenty of supplies. I held both of us up, no problem. I'm like, paramedic just jealous. She just doesn't want me to take care of Eva. What this is. Yeah, this was a really bad section. I would make an argument that if I was like a editor on this game, I would have cut everything post the Vulcan fight to the boss fight. The boss fight with the boss. Yeah, this is a weird way of saying it, but
I would keep
cut
some of
off.
I would keep the chase on the runway.
No,
that's
the
before.
Vulcan. I'm talking about the when Vulcan gets struck with lightning.
Oh, that stuff. Gotcha.
And then have the cutscene of you getting crashed. Have a cutscene of you carrying Eva, or Eva and you walking your way through the jungle. But I would not have any of the race through the woods. I wouldn't have had any of the race, any of the gameplay where you have to escort Eva. All that stuff is unnecessary, and it drags down the ending of this game.
Absolutely.
It's the equivalent of like the Halo 3, the last level in Halo 3.
Oh yeah,
And you get to do this awesome thing where you're driving through like a decaying, installation in space, and then it's just like after that you fight a boss, and it's like, all right, bros, let's go through another decaying installation in space where you shoot rockets at warthogs. It's like it's a little bit too long.
That's a situation where they were trying to recreate the first escape in Halo 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about the Halo 1 escape is it's just a straight shot. Like,
Yeah.
it's get in the warthog and get the heck out of Dodge.
There's no enemies in that section. It's just a really cool escape sequence.
There's enemies, but they're just running with you. Like, they're
Yeah.
not shooting at you. They're just trying to get out of Dodge, too. In 3, there is this weird break in the middle, and it just kills the pacing. This is kind of the same situation. It kills the pacing very, very... It stops it dead in its tracks. We get to the lake, and we knew this was coming. You know, Eva goes to get the plane fixed. Eva miraculously is healed. She goes from being like walking like half a foot a second to jogging down towards the plane.
She makes it here. She makes it seem like the only reason the boss let her go is because she was delivering Snake to the boss, which was like why she had to let her go.
We know she tells her that because we saw the ending. But at this point, Snake thinks that's why the boss let him go.
Mm-hmm.
This is a moment that frustrated me to no end.
Was it the philosophy lecture before the boss fight?
That frustrated me because I've made my feelings known on the boss. I will say now, I can see Ocelot has some positive attributes. I don't like him as much as y'all two do, but I see something there.
I will talk more about Ocelot in connection with the boss later on because there's a few hints in this game.
When we do final thoughts on this game, I look forward to doing it.
Okay.
But this is another one of our stupid lectures where I feel like I'm sitting in a lecture hall getting
But it's a beautiful lecture hall and white flowers.
No, the setting is beautiful. The concept that all of a sudden you're in a field of flowers. This the setting for this fight is great.
It's the setting of like a final duel in a samurai movie. Like when I think of boss fights, I think of the Field of White Flowers. Like
this is a beautiful moment.
This whole boss is so great. I know we'll get there, but I love this boss fight.
Mine was entirely undercut by the fact that before I crossed the threshold to this area, I changed into that really badass black Russian suit, and then I don't know what the actual term for it, but I can only put it in Avatar terms. The Kyoshi warriors with the white face and the red, so it's just like Snake in a white face with like red, like lipstick basically. Top half, bottom half, like the most advanced like Spec Ops unit suit.
See, I was still shirtless, because at this point I was committed to that. When I took the shirt off for the Vulcan fight,
you have your Rambo moment.
Yeah, this is. I was trying to have my Rambo moment of Snake just being like, "Here we go," but that really doesn't.
No, it doesn't work.
That.
She schools you if you are not prepared for that camouflage.
Yeah, but that undercuts it pretty bad. Yeah. There's a point where she's like, in the 21st century, Russia and the U.S. even still be enemies. And I just wrote yes. I was just like, yeah, we still have issues. Like, I feel like this game is
the same thing.
The game was like, the game was trying to be like, no, Eric, you don't understand. This won't even matter in 20 years. And here, sitting here at 2020, I'm like, oh yeah, it still matters. Like, we still have problems.
In 2005, it was a little more optimistic on Russia-U.S. relations.
Yeah, in 2005, they're like, there's no way the U.S. and Russia is still going to be fighting over stuff.
I don't know, bro. Like, even at that point, the concept of, like, this war has been happening for 2,000 years, that was still not, like, an unheard of thing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even in 2005, that's a really optimistic viewpoint on the thing. Like, yeah, no... Okay, I revive that statement. You're correct.
The boss sucks.
The boss sucks.
But this takes place in 1960s, right?
Yeah.
So maybe she's got a little bit of that optimism.
Sure. Are the Cobras her kids?
No.
Okay, because there's a point where she mentions a bunch of children, but then she talks about having a child on the beaches of Normandy.
Do we know who that child is?
Is it Ocelot?
It is Ocelot. Ocelot's the son of the boss and the Sorrow.
Does Ocelot know this?
I thought that baby was lost.
At first I thought it was Snake. When she says it, I
thought that would just make all of the motherly connotations 10 times
bring
worse.
it to the forefront, yeah.
Make the subtext text.
Bold it.
But do you blame me? I mean
I can get that, yeah. My understanding walking out of that was that she lost the kid. Like, they killed the kid or, like, put her through some kind of, like, thingy.
The kid was the kid taken from her?
She says the kid was taken from her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
And the only reason I thought maybe it was Ocelot was... Really, it was just shot in the dark when I realized it wasn't Snake. I was like, okay, well, who's the other big player here that maybe it could be? And I thought maybe Ocelot. And then she shows a scar on her.
Yeah.
That is not a scar from a pregnancy because it goes up to like a collarbone. And
It's a snake.
yeah, I know it's
a snake.
The scar is a snake. This game is weird. But I just thought it was weird that she's like, look at what my baby did to me. I was like, that's not what babies don't come from your chest. Like, I don't know how someone butchered you, lady. That's not on us. But also the boss went into space.
What's the fury with her at the time?
That was my question also, because I have a lot of questions written down here. That the boss went into space. We get a lesson.
Really.
We get a whole lesson on the space race.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lesson on the Bay of Pigs for NASCO. We get a lesson, which they also take a real big shot at Kennedy about the Bay of Pigs. There's a historical argument that says that maybe Kennedy made the right call. We won't go into that. This game is already kind of... This game obviously doesn't really deal with a lot of more gray areas. Everything's absolutes. Also, the body in the river that I hit when I fought the Sorrow is apparently the Sorrow's body. You know how I talked about that? I got to the
at the end of the river,
and
right?
There's a body that crosses the river, and you can't get past it. You have to hit it, and it'll kill you instantly. In this section, there's a portion where it shows that body that looks exactly the same as it does in that cutscene. That's apparently the Sorrow's body.
You didn't kill the Sorrow.
No. That's the death, the Sorrow's body from when the boss killed him.
Yeah, but isn't the whole moral story that you killed all those people and you're bad because you did it?
I don't know why the boss is... listen, don't ask me. Dude, this... Like, of all the questions you have right now, that's the one you have?
I don't have any questions. I feel like everything was pretty zipped up at the end until you like get to the real end, and then it's just like...
Well, I have questions more like this game's ability to read situations, but we'll go from there.
That's fair.
It's a whole thing. But all of this boils down to... We're going to fight the boss. I hate this boss fight.
I love this boss fight.
I hate it so bad that I put... And I'm going to say... People are going to say that Eric just hates this game. I don't. I like this game. And one thing I've been consistent about is I like almost all the bosses in this game. I like all the Cobra unit bosses. I like the fight with Vogan. I don't like the fight with Ocelot. And I don't like this fight. But I've been consistent. I like the bosses in this game. This boss fight, I do not like at all. And I almost didn't finish this game. There was a Discord messages where I was very...
You were very mad.
I was very angry. Explain to me how the boss fight went with you guys, and then I'll talk to you guys how it went for me.
I didn't fire a single shot.
What did you do?
Walk up and throw her to the ground 6 times?
You didn't get... Okay, every time I threw her to the ground, it was like a 1-to-1 chance that she would just counter it.
It's not 1-to-1.
No.
You counter her.
You time it right.
I time it right, too.
You don't walk up to her and throw her to the ground. You stand there until she comes out from her tree and attacks you, because those you can counter and those you can throw her. But if you walk up to her and try to throw her, there is like a maybe 10% chance that you pull it off, but there's even an animation that signals you'll be able to successfully throw her, and then she'll throw you.
That's a very tight window sneaking up on her and trying to do it, but if she comes to you, you can do it. What I did was I equipped the all-white camouflage. You just wait on her, you slowly sneak up to her, behind her. I threw a stun grenade, ran up behind her, was able to take her to the ground. If she saw me before then, I would just counter her CQC, and just while she's on the ground, you can hit the melee button. If you hit it 3 times, you do a little kick. So you knock her to the ground, kick her a couple times, dive into the flowers, and just wait, bide your time.
Okay, see, I was doing the counter to her melee.
Gotcha.
But then it felt like more than 1 in 10 is what you're saying. But to me, it felt like a lot more often. I would then try to throw her after I countered the move, and she would just do like a headbutt kick thing and knock me back down and shoot me a bunch.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it's a 1 in 10 that she'll counter you. I'm saying that if you approach her, there's like a 1 in 10 chance that you will successfully throw her because she's anticipating you is what I get. Mm-hmm. That's why I never approached her. Well, I always waited until she ran at me.
Now, also, here's a thing that maybe explains some of my issue. I had very little ammunition going into this fight. So what my strategy was at first was I was countering her attack with me. She would come in and try to hit me with the melee attack, and I would do the counter. Where if you gotta hit it like right when she starts her animation, and
only
you can counter
once.
it.
You can only hit it once.
There's
you
a
can hit it
sound. There's
once.
like a quick little
Snake goes like
whiff sound. Whenever that whiff sound happens, that's when you
Yeah.
press B and then you counter.
and then you counter her. Throw her to the ground. Like I said, it was hit or miss on if it actually let me throw her. Because sometimes I would do the counter, I would break her animation, I would grab her, and then she would kick me to the ground and shoot me a bunch.
So there's two different stances that she takes after that, and if it's like if she is walking away from that planted, you can't throw her. But if she's like stumbled and she's like her body is a little slanted, you can throw her. It's
I always
a
had
tell.
a stun grenade thrown before that, so that may have like helped me
Yeah.
with that also.
Okay, so
'Cause
either
I was
way,
like
once I got her to the
prepping
ground,
for like my attack.
once I threw her to the ground, I had no 1911 ammunition. Because my first thing was I was just shooting her in the head with the 1911 when I threw her to the ground. But I only had like 3 shots. So I was trying to use some other guns that didn't seem to really work that great.
I don't even remember being able to shoot her and do damage while she's on the ground.
You have to shoot her in the head. This is why I killed her with the sniper rifle. Because at first I kept trying that, thinking that was the way to kill her. But it does so little damage that it was just a matter of attrition at that point. Because also, if she grabs you while you're holding a weapon,
She'll break it.
She'll break the weapon and stuff. So it was really just a moment. This is why the fight was so frustrating to me. When I did the successful throw her to the ground and then shoot her, it did so little daggum damage that it was just eventually she was killing me, because eventually, just out of attrition, I was out of ammunition for most of my guns, and she would shoot me enough to kill me or do enough throws to kill me. What I eventually did was, and you were talking about not being able to shoot her when she's not in like a staggered stance, you can. What I was doing is I start the fight, I eventually got her, so I would throw her to the ground, shoot her at point blank range in the head with the sniper rifle, then run away. Hide. When she does not see you, she goes into a stage where she's jumping between trees. And she will stick her head out from the trees.
You can follow the flowers whenever
Yes.
she runs fast. Like the petals will fly away, and
Yes.
you can follow the petals.
And when she's at that stage, when she doesn't know where you're at, she's vulnerable to a shot to the head. If she's shooting at you, she's not. So what I eventually did is lay down in the grass or the flowers, wait till she was in that stage looking for me, and anytime she popped her head out, shoot her in the head once, then you can get another shot off, shoot her in the head twice, and she'll fall down, and then I threw a fragmentation grenade at her and tried to blow her up. That was how I ended up killing her. That's why I killed the boss with a sniper rifle.
That was almost my exact strategy when I played this on hard mode a few years back. Like, I played with the sniper rifle and was just like, I'm not even going to get close to her. I'm just going to keep my distance and try to pick her off slowly.
I think, like I said, the frustration was, until I started using the sniper rifle, was it was just such a battle of attrition that I would fight her for almost the entire time. Because also there's a time limit.
There's a 10-minute counter
Because
before...
there's Russian MiGs on the way.
Is there like a legitimate timer on that? Because
Yes.
Is that on the screen? Because I don't
No,
remember.
not on the screen, but she'll count it down.
Okay.
Like,
Also-
she'll say 3 more minutes, Jack.
Gotcha.
Also, when you hit to a certain point, the song starts.
Yes, and it's always wonderful.
The Snake Eater song starts. I heard that, like, literally, this is why this fight was so unbearably frustrating for me until I started doing the sniper rifle stuff, is I knew how to beat her. It was just the attrition of it, the amount of damage I did per attack on that strategy of throwing her to the ground and shooting her in the head was so slow that just attrition-wise, eventually I would either die to her shooting me or I was running out of time.
So if you're doing CQC, you should have been attacking her stamina, not her health.
Well, I would throw her down, then shoot her in the head. That was health.
Yeah, but you could also kick her, which does more damage to the stamina.
That's why it didn't take me long at all. I was just going for that stamina meter.
So
And
this
her
is the
stamina
only time
meter.
I've used the Mark 22, and it's the only time that I've attacked the stamina meter on a boss, because you can get a shot off while she's dazed before you throw her. You can throw her, you can kick her, and then you can shoot her while she's getting back up.
You have options.
Yeah, it's like a 4-move combo that you can pull off in this boss fight.
This is one of the easier bosses for me playing a stealth run, just because there's a lot more stealth options you have on this boss as opposed to lethal options, which for most bosses is usually the opposite.
I don't think y'all quite understand that Eric was not letting the boss walk away from this.
I knew
You didn't walk away from mine.
I'm just saying, like,
You had
I was not
you had
gonna-
to press that button.
Sounds like Eric was spending a lot of time looking for
I
weapon
bet you were
parts.
like, X, just let me shoot.
My note says I hit X so fast that I almost hit it too fast and the game didn't register it. Because as soon as I knew I could shoot him, bam! Felt no guilt. No guilt at all. No guilt at all. I really, and like I said, some of this might have been because I went into it with such little ammunition and supplies. But I hate I loved all the bosses. None of the bosses gave me trouble except this boss.
Also, again, you said low ammo, but you almost get a free throw if you attack her with the AK melee. You don't have to go through any of that if you just melee with the AK or the M16. It will push her down.
And
you can do that twice before she gets
slowness of
used
it
to it.
just felt like it was. I didn't hit it enough. Like I didn't feel like the timing was right for that.
I'm not trying to say you're bad at games, Eric. I'm just saying.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, like, I had trouble with this thing, and I just shot her in the head a bunch with a sniper rifle.
It was a frustrating fight, though.
I did not like this fight.
It felt similar to the Ocelot fight in the ways that you
That's
feel
what
like
it
you
is.
should be pulling this off, but because, I can just deflect bullets somehow,
You know, talking about this, I think that's really what got me so frustrated with it. It feels like the Ocelot fight.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it irritated me so much. Because with the other bosses, I didn't really do a lot of, like, reflex shooting or reflex fighting. I felt like I was setting myself up to attack them.
Yeah.
Like with the Fury, it's all about getting him in a position where he's lost track of you and you ambush him from the shadows, or with the end, hunting him down in the woods and getting that shot on him or sneaking up behind him. With this, it's a straight up head-on encounter, and kind of like the Ocelot fight, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think it registered with me, as I didn't enjoy it.
I don't think so, because it was just the way I was playing. I was prepping my attacks. Like, I was like, all right, as soon as she gets to this thing here, I'm going to throw a grenade, and then I'm going to begin my attack. She doesn't know I'm here. So this was the boss fight where I was doing, like, the most prepping and everything before I even, like, thought about attacking.
Yeah, see, I feel like I was, a lot of times when I was in this fight, I was pulling off, like, shots at the last second, things like that.
Well, that's how I felt a lot with me this time during the Volgan fight. Just the Volgan fight was like a war of attrition.
See, the Volgan fight, I
versus-
wiped him out, like, in probably, like, 2 minutes. Like, I think I got hit once with him.
So Volgan gave me a run for my money. It was like I had to try that like 5 or 6 times.
I think it also kind of falls into kind of how you generally approach combat situations in games.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I like games where I can be fast, strike, fall back, strike, like the twitchy kind of combat and stuff. And I think that this game does not do that well. It's not that kind of game. I know I'm pushing the systems away it's not supposed to. But that's just my natural, I'm not a very passive person in video games, so sometimes in this game where you're supposed to be a little bit more passive and wait is more difficult for me. I'm not a patient person. I want to get some stuff done. Let's get this done.
And that's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think some of that is, and this is something I mentioned when we were talking about the stuff with Eva, is I was frustrated with the pacing of that section. So when I got to this, I think some of that carried over.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
It absolutely does.
That happened to me too, because I played this entire section in like one
Yeah,
sitting.
Same.
Yeah, I did the same thing. So I'm wondering if I would have took a break at the Eva stuff and then came back, would I have enjoyed this more? But playing it all the way through,
You're just like, I'm so close, I need to finish this.
exactly, because the game's pacing is telling you you're right there at the end, and I didn't want to stop and not finish it. I think I would have been better if I would have stopped at the Eva stuff and did this. But I think that section in front of this kind of ruins the pacing a little bit. So I went into this fight feeling frustrated and rushed, wanting to just get it over with, and I didn't really fully enjoy this.
I get you.
But it is a very pretty looking scene, and it does have the scene when obviously you shoot the boss at the end, you become the boss.
All the flowers turn red.
All the flowers turn red. Her horse shows up.
And it's sad.
Yeah, the horse is sad. It's a cool scene. Snake walks to the plane. In any other video game in the history of video games, this would have been the ending of the game.
But
no,
not Metal Gear.
Not Metal Gear.
Get ready for 5 more endings.
About 5 more endings, yeah. Because then Russian MiGs show up, trying to shoot you down, and Khrushchev. No, Ocelot shows up.
Ocelot shows up first before the MiGs.
Ocelot shows up on one of the hover bikes, and this is I'll give this to Ocelot. He hops onto the plane. You have a big elaborate fist fight with Ocelot, and then straight up he plays a game of Russian roulette with you, where he puts the one bullet in the revolver.
You have to watch to figure out which gun has the bullet.
But then he puts it behind his back, so it's just like,
oh, come on.
Yeah,
they really wanted to make sure he got that bullet.
Wait, did you shoot him or did he shoot you?
He shot me. He shot me.
I shot him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I pulled the trigger 5 times, and I was like, all right, well, let's see how this plays out.
Well, I think I pulled the trigger, and it's like click, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Me. Like I shot.
It's on the last one because
Yeah.
it wants you to think that.
I didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying like I got it right because I followed it. I just guessed. I guessed the right one.
I mean, at some point, he puts it behind his bag, so it's almost just like,
Okay.
Did
you're
you
not going to be able to follow
How
it.
long did you feel that? Because I thought I had it until he went to behind his bag.
Same.
Yeah, I was watching it pretty close, and I thought I had it until he went behind his back, and that's the only time I was like, okay, you got me. I don't know where it's at. But when you do pull the trigger and he shoots, it is pretty cool with the idea of him just like, haha, it's a blank this whole time, which makes me wonder.
That was fun.
Which makes me wonder if he would have actually shot you on the at the waterfall.
What
Would it have been
happens
a
then?
blank? Would it have been a blank when he would have actually shot you on the because he was shooting live ammunition at you on the helicopter.
Yeah,
I mean
he
on
pulls
the
it off
motorcycle.
he pulls it off his neck every time.
But I'm just saying, if he was just trying to shoot you with the blank the whole time on the motorcycle, he was shooting live ammunition.
But
But
he's a good shot. He knows what
But
he's
before
doing.
this, they exchange names, and Ocelot gets the name Adamska,
yeah.
which Adam.
Yeah, it's a Russian version of Adam. And then Snake says his name
John.
is John.
So is his name Jack? Is his name really Jack?
I looked it up. John is short for Jack, or the other way around. Jack
John's
is short for Jack.
Jonathan.
Would you like to know why?
And then but also, Jim is short for James, despite the fact that they're like the same syllable. It doesn't make any names are weird. They don't make any sense.
What's the name of the guy in Escape from New York? Because I know Snake is named after Snake Plissken. So is
Yeah.
his name Jack?
Yes,
So I wonder if that's why.
I'm pretty sure.
Because Snake is named after the guy from Escape from New York.
Originally, Kojima wanted Big Boss and Solid Snake to be 2 completely different characters. So he thought about in Metal Gear Solid 3 having Big Boss be voiced by Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
I would have liked that better.
He wanted to do, and then then it fell through, so that David Hayter came back to play.
Controversial statement. Kurt Russell would have been better.
Do you prefer Keith Sutherland's Big Boss to David Hayter's Big Boss?
Actually, yes.
I'm leaning that way.
Yes. I must say this. Okay, we'll get to final thoughts and we'll talk about this.
Nick looks very confused.
Snake not the big boss.
Snake is Big Boss.
This
Is he always the big boss? Is there always big boss?
We'll
2.0?
get to that. We'll
Let's
talk
get
about
to
the
this.
we're going to talk about the
I'm
timeline
getting-
at the end of this game.
I'm getting a yes from you right now.
Well, no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
See, that's, yes and no is still yes.
We'll get to the timeline at the end of this game.
Sure.
Because there's the bit at the very end, which I'm sure you're like, what the hell is the
Yeah.
laser frontier?
All right, let's get to the
We'll
end
get to
here.
the
Ocelot jumps off of the freaking plane, which I mean,
do a cool roll.
that was
Dang it.
cool.
On the water.
Yeah.
A roll on the water.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I give you credit. And then some Russian MiGs show up, which this is once again like this game's like, and you thought it was the end, and you thought it was the end.
Well, it's supposed to be like, it reminds me a lot, the movie came out later, but at Argo, where like
Yeah.
the plane's taken off and you have like the troops like following, it feels very much like that, like the last ditch, like, are they going to make it? Are they going to make it? And at the last second, the order comes down from the Kremlin saying, stand down.
The only problem with that sequence in Argo is I had read up on the history of that part, so I was sitting in the theater being like, yeah, they make it. I know it does. Either that or Ben Affleck took some liberties with this historical moment. But yeah, the MiGs take off. They don't shoot you down. Then we cut to, I guess, Snake and Eva back at Snake's house.
They're on their way to Alaska.
Yeah, because they're going to Alaska, but is that like Snake? Does Snake live in the Alaska wilderness? Or?
I think so, because that's where Solid Snake lives at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1, because they literally they find him in the Alaskan wilderness.
So I guess. So
is he just hanging out at Big Boss's like cabin?
I guess. But, so Eva.
Stop referring to Big Boss if it's not Snake. His name is Snake. If his name is Snake and he's Big Boss.
Well, he becomes Big Boss.
No.
Okay, we'll get there. So Eva and Snake have a romantic evening of drinking some wine in their tactical clothes still. Like, I thought that was kind of weird. Because we see that...
never over.
Well, we see Snake change into like a cardigan. So, you know. But Snake and Eva finally bang.
PS2 models kissing is never a good thing.
This is what you wanted, Eric.
I regret wanting it now because I looked at it. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually really weird. But video games have yet to be able to get that right. Like a lot of modern video games still look like two like action figures.
Let me tell you about Heavy Rain.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that one. Press L1 to unhook bra.
Should we play Heavy Rain?
I feel like the answer to anything by David Cage.
Yeah.
David Cage, right?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yeah, no. Nick, there's a portion of that game in which I hid in a freezer to escape a fire, I think.
Or they literally do the Indiana Jones 4 thing.
That game is something. But you wake up and Eva has left you alone with a recording.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you put your little recording on your player that's sitting conveniently right nearby. Sit down with your.
He has
cigar.
some whiskey. He has a cigar. He has his turtleneck. He's
the first time in this entire game I thought Snake was pretty cool when he was sitting there in his turtleneck.
This is when you thought it was cool.
Oh no!
This is when Snake was cold. That's why he's wearing a turtleneck.
It is Alaska.
Not cool.
I think it's Alaska. I'm pretty sure this is a cabin in Alaska.
No, I was saying he was lame. You said he was cool. I said he was cold. It was a funny joke.
This is when we get the massive info dump of Eva explaining everything.
She was a Chinese spy, the third player in the Philosopher's Legacy.
Which just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was hinted at the very beginning, but she didn't know the password. Whenever Snake's like, "Who are the Patriots?" She's supposed to say "Lolly Low," and she doesn't. She shoots some soldiers and then unzips her shirt, and then Snake's like, "You seem pretty cool."
If you remember correctly, I even mentioned on that episode that she does not ever say the password, and Snake just lets her fly with it. He just goes, "Okay, cool. I guess you're cool because you shot some guys and you got nice tits."
Because Adam didn't show up, so she played the role of Eva.
But he did.
The second Pogo, but he was always there. He was always helping from like the sidelines.
Right.
So okay, I had a prediction last episode also that Ocelot was secretly running his own game to help Snake the whole time.
Yeah.
Technically, I was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Technically,
but Eva explains her entire role throughout this entire experience, everything about her being a secret Chinese agent, not part of the Russians. She explains how the boss was truly there to be an agent for the United States, trying to infiltrate Sokolov's operation, and things went south when Sokolov randomly shot the Davy Crockett at the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Which the game never really. I guess we're just supposed to chalk that up to Sokolov for just being crazy. Vogan just being crazy.
Well,
is there any other reason why he shot that Davy Crockett?
Isn't he trying to like intensify the feelings of like civil unrest between these two?
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so that's
because if he lost the Philosopher's Legacy, then his plan is just to
take over
Russia, create mass panic and all that stuff. Like that is Philosopher's Legacy was his number one thing. That's how he was going to do it. But now he's like, well, I have this nuke sitting here.
I'm not just going to not shoot it out of a moving helicopter.
Some could say maybe the United States government should have thought twice about handing a rogue general nuclear weapon. You know, maybe that's on the U.S.
No, it's on the boss. That's why we have to kill her.
Yeah, exactly. Except that was her plan all along to the fact because she's a hero, Snake.
I will tell you this. I'll give Ocelot some credit. I won't give the boss any credit. I don't think the boss is cool at all. The boss, at this point, we have to kill the boss because the boss is just... The operation went sideways, so she's a hero, apparently, because of that.
Well, she's a hero because she defected because she wanted to paint the target on herself so that Snake could go in and kill her, and then it would bring peace between Russia and America.
I took that as that was a side effect of him shooting the Davy Crockett, though. That was not the original mission.
It is a
Well,
side
the original
effect, but
mission
the fact
was
that she has to like play this role.
Yeah, the original mission was for her to get close with Vulcan so that she could carry out the mission. But after the Davy Crockett went off, it all fell apart, and she had to keep her...
Okay, I was just clarifying that because, from my understanding, that was not the plan from the get-go, but it was when he shot the Davy Crockett, now she has to do that.
Yep.
Snake was there to sell... I believe Snake in Virtuous Mission, the first 2 hours of this game, was there to be a witness to the boss, defecting.
That was my question I had, because Snake is there, and I guess that's why he is sent in to be just somebody to report back the boss went rogue.
Boss went rogue. I know the boss, she went rogue. She's not who she... Yeah, so that was...
Because I was asking that question.
It also plays it up for Vulcan, because if she's willing to, beat up her former student and throw her off a bridge, then...
Yeah, so that explains also why they didn't give you any guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that makes sense. I actually don't have a problem with that. Snake has a medal ceremony with the president. This is a cool visual.
Mm-hmm.
When he's in full dress uniform with the beard and the
eye patch
and
the beret.
He's given the title of Big Boss, which, being a fan playing 3, just sent a chill down my spine going, oh crap.
This was really cool.
You knew after an hour of playing, you're like, I think I'm Big Boss. And then at the very end being like, oh man, this is crazy.
Wait, you didn't know that Snake was Big Boss until this moment?
Everybody pause.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Everybody pause.
You just said it.
The laser frontal libre. We'll get to the laser frontal libre.
Okay.
But that section is really cool, where he's walking in, and you can tell he's kind of haunted by the events of this whole mission. It's a cool scene. The cool scene at the graveyard when he goes to see the grave that just says the Patriot.
And he leaves the gun on it.
Well, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. It's
a little reckless, bro.
I was like, I've been to Arlington Cemetery, and you can just walk out there if you know somebody. So don't leave a
gun which apparently has infinite ammo.
Yeah,
you can sow a lot of havoc on that
one. Yeah, Boss makes a bad decision there, but
Big Boss.
Eva, of course, she was a daughter of the Patriots or the philosophers.
The philosophers.
Yeah. The boss knew her from a visit to one of the philosophers' secret.
The Red Room, essentially.
Yeah,
from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, where they raised those spies.
She was supposed to kill Snake.
Yes,
but
she was supposed to.
Because we have that cool visual of Snake sitting on the couch listening to this as she's holding the gun over the past version, the memory. That was a cool bit. That was why I was like, Kojima just really wants to make movies because this is a really cool shot here.
I don't have issue with this stuff. This is an info dump, but it is pretty interesting.
All the stuff at the end, I love the ending to this game. From the boss to the final stinger at the end credits is 45 minutes. It does not feel like 45 minutes. It's breezy. It feels like a season finale of television.
It's opposite of how a lot of this game's cutscenes are, where they feel kind of drawn out. This feels very packed with information, but it's constantly... It feels like it's revealing enough that you feel good about it. You're putting all the pieces are going together and stuff like that.
So all the questions that you have lingering at this game are answered, and questions that were raised in Metal Gear Solid 2 we don't have the answers yet, but the foundation is starting to get there. Where in 4 we'll get to
all the
information you don't even want, most of which the answer is nanomachines.
Yeah, I've heard nanomachines are the main solution.
4 goes off the rails.
Just ask Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk agrees with Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. the section where it ends on him in the graveyard saluting the headstone, and then it cuts to a kind of timeline of events going forward
for the Metal Gear Solid universe.
For the Metal Gear Solid universe, leading up to Shadow Moses, which I believe is the Metal Gear Solid 1.
2005, Shadow Moses is Metal Gear Solid 1.
Okay.
That game came out in 98, but it takes place in 2001 because Metal Gear 2 took place that came out in the 90s, took place in the late 90s. So this is where we'll get to the...
Metal Gear Solid 2 is before Metal Gear Solid 1?
Metal Gear 2.
Okay.
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 Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 were games that came out on the MX2, a Japanese computer, that are very crucial to the timeline, except we didn't get it here in America until the HD collection, or because it came with, as you can see on the drop-down menu, there's Metal Gear 2 and there's Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I played both of those. Metal Gear 1 is mostly inconsequential stealth game that is made better by me reading spoilers for 5. And there's some cool tie-in in Metal Gear 1.
We'll get to this.
We'll get to this.
Long story short, then after that timeline, we get a phone call with Ocelot. Well, it's just a logo of Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's Ocelot on the phone with, I'm assuming to be the KGB?
The KGB at first.
Yes, and he's saying that no one guessed it was me. Don't worry about it. I've got the CIA on the ropes.
He says the facility's been wiped out by the Davy Crockett. There's no evidence at all. Everything's been wiped out. We're good, fam.
Yeah, basically, everything's okay. Then he calls the CIA. He goes, don't worry. The KGB has no clue who I am. They never knew that I've been playing as a triple agent this entire time. Mm-hmm. Ocelot's on top of everything.
And then he reveals that the Shagohod has, even though it's been wiped out, he's got the schematics for Metal Gear from Grennan.
Yes,
and
which we knew somebody had because Grennan was the one who created the Metal Gear.
Legs are the future of military.
But Ocelot's the friend in the U.S., I guess.
Yeah, he's the friend in the U.S. He hands the Metal Gear schematics over, which causes about, let's say, 60 years of unrest.
Yeah.
For the
so Ocelot's the true agent. Ocelot played everybody.
Even Eric.
Even me. Played me.
The music stinger at the end is wonderful. I want that in more things where he's like, Mr. Director, hangs up the phone. Jazz hands, essentially.
Oh, that was great.
So
I could see him doing jazz hands as he did it. They should have just cut to a video of him looking at the camera and being like, do-do-do.
Just busts in like the frame like a freaking Porky Pig.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be great. Michael.
Yes.
I'm going to give you 15 minutes.
15 minutes to talk about Metal Gear timelines?
Explain to us what is going to go on. How does this fit into the next?
So your main question is, who is Snake and who is Big Boss, essentially? Snake?
Okay,
so
just is there a difference between Snake and Solid Snake?
Yes.
Is there a difference between Solid Snake and Big Boss?
Yes.
Is there a difference between Snake and Big Boss?
No.
Okay, Naked Snake is given the title of Naked Snake. He becomes Big Boss after he kills the boss. The Les Effronteries project that you see and you're going, what? And it says the sons of Big Boss are born. The sons of Big Boss, there's a bit where the two military guys are like, we can use a soldier like him for our forces and make him do one-man sneaking missions for us.
Yeah.
Very specific thing. So they see the soldier named the Big Boss. Big Boss takes the message of the boss, kind of misconstrues it in a lot of ways, saying, peace. Like, her thing is, peace will come if we do the right thing. Snake was like, I need to make the peace happen. So I'm going to hijack all of the world's nukes and make an island on Zanzibar with all the nuclear weapons, and then the world will be peaceful.
Because Metal Gear Solid 5, I know a little bit about this because I played through 5.
Mm-hmm.
5 is Big Boss. That's not Solid Snake, that's Naked Snake.
Well,
Big Boss.
Well, that's
right.
That's Venom Snake.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which, well, we're not going to talk about Venom Snake here. There's videos breaking down who Venom Snake is, but he's not tied to anything. So, all right. So let's get to Okay, clones.
I've heard of them.
Okay, Solid Snake and Liquid Snake are the sun, and Solidus Snake.
What about Gaseous Snake?
Well, Solidus Snake. That's
Okay.
where we're at. Because they couldn't call him Gaseous Snake, so they're Solidus Snake, which
Okay.
means not solid or liquid.
Okay.
Are the three sons of Big Boss that were clones of Big Boss?
So they're not sons; they are clones.
They are clones.
Okay.
They were born and they were raised as child soldiers, essentially, basically being like perfect military machines. And so that's who Solid Snake is. Solid
They're
Snake
clones,
is a
but they were
clones.
made as babies.
Well, they were born, but
Is this like a punk rock Jesus scenario?
Holy crap! You want to talk about punk rock Jesus?
I mean, if that's how it ties in, then
all right. So they take Big Boss's DNA and give it to a mother who has the sons of Big Boss.
it is Punk Rock Jesus.
Yeah, basically. And so Solid Snake ends up killing Big Boss in Metal Gear 2, a game that we didn't get for the longest time. And then when Metal Gear Solid happens, Big Boss is dead, and we play as Solid Snake.
Metal Gear Solid.
1.
That's the first game that came out.
Yes, in America.
Okay.
Well, we got Metal Gear in for the NES in the 80s, but that was a kind of a butchered port of Metal Gear. Like, they changed the plot completely, and then it did well enough over here to where Konami of America was like, hey, let's make a sequel to it. A game called Snake's Revenge, which has no ties to the series. And then Kojima heard they were making a sequel, and then on a train ride, made the entire plot for Metal Gear 2, and then made this ridiculously ambitious game with like stories, like cutscenes and everything. Metal Gear 2 was insane. And then when the PlayStation happened, the barrier for Japanese and American games kind of went down a little bit. So Metal Gear Solid came out and was a smashing success over here. Like, it was the game on the PlayStation 1.
So, do you know who Big Boss is when you first played Metal Gear Solid?
No.
Okay.
You know, at the end of Metal Gear Solid, it's revealed that you are a clone of Big Boss.
So Big Boss is like a referenced character. Like, people talk about the Big Boss.
If you played Metal Gear 2, you would kill Big Boss, but even then, he makes like an kind of offhand mention about being kind of your father. Like, he's a father-like. Which they kind of retcon in Metal Gear Solid 2. 1, to be like, no, he was like given a whole speech like Darth Vader, like, I am your father. So Snake kills him. Solid Snake kills him. Thinking like, oh, the man was probably my father. That's weird. And then it's revealed that he is a clone of Big Boss. And then Liquid Snake was like, I wanted to kill him. And
okay, I'm
cue
lost.
sibling rivalry on fist fight on top of a giant mech.
Okay, let's pause for a second because I enjoyed Metal Gear Solid 3. I like Metal Gear Solid 3, and I had a crazy notion go through my head.
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, Self, I think I want to play some more Metal Gear. And I said, Self, where would one start to play some Metal Gear? And I said, well, I could start with the first Metal Gear game. But then I said to myself, should I start with the NES games?
Don't start with
Or
the
should
NES
I just
games.
go to Metal Gear Solid 4? And I said to myself, surely Michael will be able to clear this up.
And
So far. Yeah, he has.
You can just play Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear Solid series, and get the plot just fine. Metal Gear 1 and 2 is for lore nerds like me who want to connect every little dots and go, ha-ha!
So, like, Metal Gear 1 and 2, some of this is confusing because it's Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
Metal Gear is like the tie-ins to the comic book event. So if Metal Gear Solid is the actual like 1 through 5, I'm reading the comic book event, is Metal Gear the tie-ins?
Well, now it would be, but back in the day, that was all you had because those were the first ones.
So if I wanted to play another Metal Gear, should I go
Metal Gear
play-
Solid 1. Metal Gear Solid 1, then go 2, and then 4, and then 5.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because we played
game that
3.
we're
Because we
playing
played
right now
3.
Is Metal Gear Solid 3, right?
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 3. Why is it called Metal Gear Solid if you're not the Solid Snake?
Why is that a part of the naming convention?
Because I think
Because they didn't want to name it Metal Gear 3, because that might just throw people off being like, wait, is this a sequel to the NES game that was bad?
But it's not a sequel to anything, right?
It's a
prequel
prequel
to everything.
Yes.
okay, let me try.
But it was also meant to throw people off because 2 ends in a weird place to where people thought 3, and when they saw it was set in the 60s, people were unsure if it was a sequel. People were like, oh, is this like a virtual reality thing where we think we're in the 60s?
So, because correct me if I'm wrong, there's some swerves in 2.
There's a lot of swerves in 2.
So I could see maybe people looking at the trailers for 3 and going, "It's a swerve."
Well, 2, the trailers only showed everything. The trailer showed was only the first hour of Metal Gear Solid 2. Nothing else was shown for the rest of the game. That game is one giant curveball. It is made to like point a mirror at you, going, "This is what you want. Is this what you want in a sequel? I'm making my own sequel."
So is it basically the concept of? I'm assuming that as an American player who did not have access to the first 2 Metal Gear games,
Yeah.
I am supposed to assume that I have played Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, and then Metal Gear Solid 5 is my sequence for Metal Gear.
Yes.
So if I
1
wanted
and 2 is good after playing all of those to fill in some missing dots. There is some there is some optional reading material in the first Metal Gear Solid that explains everything. Like it's like a few pages and explains everything that happens lore-wise in Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2.
Okay, so for my next step in my Metal Gear journey,
Metal Gear Solid.
play Metal Gear Solid because I now know who Big Boss is.
Mm-hmm.
I now know who the boss is.
Mm-hmm.
I know a vague understanding of the philosophers and the patriots that are being derived from the philosophers.
Mm-hmm.
So my playing this like by order of events, but not by order of release,
Mm-hmm.
would be Metal Gear Solid 1,
Yes.
which you can get on the Metal Gear Collection.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, it's not on the HD collection. It's on the
the
PS3 collection.
yeah, the PS3 collection.
And then 2, and then 4, and then 5 is more of a sequel to the PSP Peace Walker game.
Yeah, no, pause. We are not getting into the PSP.
Just play anything with Metal Gear Solid on it, and you'll be fine.
All right.
Just if it has Metal Gear Solid and a number, you can play those. Everything else is for lore nerds like me.
Okay.
So let's.
Final thoughts.
Do you have any more questions on snakes? That doesn't include Venom Snake because I don't have 20 minutes to talk about Venom Snake.
No.
Is this what it's like when I talk about Warhammer?
Yes.
Okay. No. Final thoughts. Michael, I'm going to save you for last because you are the one who's most familiar with this series, and I want you to be last.
Okay.
Nick, can you go next, please?
What am I supposed to say?
Final thoughts on the game.
This game was pretty cool. Fighting Ocelot was not cool.
You really turned around on this because you in
Yeah.
the part 1. You
Yeah,
hated this game. You hated
The
everything
Ocelot
about
fight was
this.
bad. Like that's really what soured me on the whole thing. But everybody's kind of cool. This is basically just anime. Like
Pretty much, yeah.
that's all I have to say.
I think I really like this game, and that's going to be contrary to the way I talk about it. Like, people are going to assume that I hate this game, but I really did like it. There's just so many things in it that, because I enjoyed it, it kind of took away from. Like, I wish I could play, like, a re-edit of Metal Gear Solid 3, if that makes any sense at all.
When they come out with the Kai version.
Yeah, I want to watch Metal Gear Solid Kai. I think this is a game I'm glad I played. Like, I'm happy to say that I would probably want to go back and play the other Metal Gears.
Mhm.
Maybe we can do that for this show one time.
I do have 3 ways to play Metal Gear Solid that I can distribute to you guys.
Just like a shady drug deal in a parking lot.
You get my PS Classic, you get my disc, and I'll have my PS3, and we're all set.
We're all just sitting around playing some Metal Gear 1. I actually would like to do that. I would like to play that, but that's going to be on the list of games we'll play. Yeah, this was a good experience. I'm glad I played this. That's the bullet point. I really am, and this was a heck of a ride. Michael, take us home on Metal Gear.
Everyone who's been listening this far already knows my thoughts. This is one of my favorite games. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 are some of my favorite games of all time, and I absolutely love this. Of the three, this might be my least favorite, just because the bit at the end with Eva, there's some cutscene stuff near the end, mainly the Philosopher's Legacy, so it kind of goes on for a little bit. There's info dumps in like 1 and 2, but those info dumps are like so crazy and out there that they stick with me. 2 is my personal favorite, just because that was the first one I played. Weirdly. But I absolutely love this series, and I'm so happy that we got a chance to play 3, just so I could talk about Metal Gear for about 8 hours on a recording.
I also want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening and playing along. This has been our most successful series that we've done so far.
Bar none. This has been great.
This game, just from a purely listener interactions and stuff, people really been getting on board with this series, and I appreciate everybody who's listening. The idea of this whole podcast was to try to bring games to the table that, like, Nick's not played this.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually played this. I wonder if my memory's just completely off. I don't think I ever played this because I don't remember any of this. But that could just be head injuries.
We also didn't remember anything about Alan Wake, but we all played that in the past at some point.
I mean, but this was a cool chance for you to bring a game that you cared a lot about and have us to take that ride with you.
This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All 4 of these discussions have been really fun to record.
One thing that we promised on this episode is that we will be talking about our next game.
All right.
Our next game, Nick Choice, because at first we gave it Nick's Choice because we thought Nick was going to hate these 4 episodes with a passion, and luckily he turned it around, but he's still Nick's Choice. Nick, tell me what game you picked for our next series.
I picked Life is Strange.
Life is Strange is I did not know that this is as popular of a series as it is.
It kind of came out of nowhere when it came out, because it was like another studio is trying the Telltale thing, and you're like, all right, are we going to have more of these things? And after like the first couple episodes, they kind of were very niche, and then after like episode 3 and after the whole season came out was when it just blew up. Like all of the
spin-off series. There is a comic book series.
It's...
Dark Horse produced a comic book series around this. Mm-hmm. This thing is bigger than I ever thought it was. It completely went under the radar for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I played a Life is Strange ever. I had it because Games with Gold gave it away at one point, and it's been on every single console that has ever existed except the Switch, apparently.
Yes, it is on PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, Mac, PC, and iPhone.
So you have no excuse about not being able to find this here.
It's everywhere. Like,
who produced this game? Does anybody know?
This game was made by Don't Nod, who before this had only made one other game that was produced by Capcom that was titled Remember Me. It was big. It was kind of big. It was like a B title for that year, where it was set in the future, and the entire thing was about memories.
Okay, I
vaguely
remember.
It was a beat 'em up kind of thing too, because I remember the thing being like you could like customize like your combo strings and stuff. Is the only thing I remember from that game. But Life is Strange was made after the fact. This was kind of a project of a lot of love and care by 15 people made this game, and it centers around a rewind mechanic, which they experimented with in Remember Me. They liked that mechanic, and reviews highlighted that mechanic as the key of this game, going, they should make a game around this. And so they're like, okay, cool, we'll make a game around this mechanic. So the original story was made by a guy named Jean-Luc Cano. It was written in French and then was converted into the game script by the co-directors and the design team, and it's set in the Pacific Northwest to give it that kind of nostalgic autumn-y feel.
Which is kind of perfect for this time of year because we're going into
autumn. So it's this whole game centers around autumn, so it's a really good...
Yeah, literally going into September now. That's a perfect timing.
Mm-hmm. And the 3 main influences of this game were Telltale's The Walking Dead, which was... If you don't remember how big The Walking Dead was for the adventure game genre, it was huge. It won Game of the Year. Everybody was trying to make an episodic game after that point.
I would make an argument that barring maybe one other Telltale release that I really enjoyed, which was the Wolf Among Us.
I love The Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us. If you have not played the Wolf Among Us, I just plead to everybody, go play that game. It's based around a Vertigo comic book series called Fables, which is a very good comic book series. It's very new to comics, reader friendly. If you don't read a lot of comics and you want to get into something that's not superheroes,
It's like that show Once Upon a Time, except it's R-rated.
yes, it's a mature reader content. Like it's not not mature reader like
Boobies.
it's not like haha we're gonna get this R-rated so it can be controversial. It just deals with mature reader themes. It's a very good series. I've only read like 3 or 4 volumes of it, but it is good. But that Wolf Among Us, you don't need to know anything about the comics or anything to enjoy that game. You can just get into it. It's very good.
It was very much
understanding of like Grimm fairy tales will take you on a lot.
If you can understand that the Cinderella story or the Red Riding Hood story are not like the Disney version, like it's a little bit different, and you can kind of ride with that, then you'll understand the world of the Wolf Among Us perfectly.
I love The Wolf Among Us, but yeah, Life is Strange, it was inspired by those like Telltale games at their peak. Gone Home and Heavy Rain were also influences because they didn't want to make it like a lot of the Telltale games eventually just become like on rails, like I'm just going through the story. Life is Strange has a bunch of open bits where you're like exploring the environment, and so it like plays with that in some interesting ways. And just judging by review scores, the average scores of the games increase with every single episode. The average Metascore for episode 1, judging by all the releases, was about a 76. Not bad at all. But after, with the whole season taken into account, the game shoots up to about an 84 on Metacritic. So it's like a 10-point jump just from like the first episode to the end. So this is a game that really, once it hits its stride, when it's firing on all cylinders. Life is Strange is great. I think I'm the only one here who's played Life is Strange to completion. Is that right?
I've not, like I said, I don't think I've played any of it.
Yeah, I haven't touched it.
Nick, kind of what drew you to this game? Why did you want to try it, and why did you want to bring it to the table?
I mean, it's definitely... I am trying to consider the different types of genres that we've kind of taken on so far, and I don't think that we've played anything that kind of plays the way that this will, or a story that, this game has. But on top of that, I don't even know if you should throw it in there, but it's just a little shorter, I would imagine, this one, than 4-episode arc.
Yeah, it's not a 4-episode. This will probably be broken up into 2 episodes.
2 episodes. So for part 1, we are going to play chapters 1 through 3. And then for our second part, we're going to play the last 2, chapters 4 and 5.
One thing I do want to bring up, and this is not meant to be like a too much of an inside baseball conversation, but we've done some big AAA releases. We did Metal Gear Solid 3. That's not a small game. That was a huge deal. We did Alan Wake, which was a big release and kind of launched Remedy's kind of AAA status in some ways. It's a big release. It's a big release. Yeah. When we did Observation, I know some people that kind of commented on the show were talking about how it's a smaller game, something they hadn't really experienced or been around and played a lot of those kind of games. There's a lot of worth in these kind of games. I know this series is immensely popular.
It blew up. This was like a niche game, but like the whole like series as a whole now really blew up and has become like an indie darling essentially, despite the fact that it was produced by Square Enix.
Yeah, I encourage you, if you're somebody who doesn't play these kind of games normally, to give this one a shot.
This is a good entry point. Having me playing this game, I played it 4 years ago now, so I remember a lot of the big moments, but it's a lot of the smaller, more intimate moments that I want to reconnect with. So that's why I was very happy when you picked this game, just because I was like, I would love to enter that world again.
Yeah, I really think this is going to be a special episode, and it's perfect. It's an autumn game.
It's an autumn game. It's gonna be really cool, like a really indie Twilight Zone-y feel. So this is gonna be really fun.
And see, the fun part about this is this will be done by October, which is when Halloween game is coming.
I have a feeling
Eric's got a Halloween game in mind.
Should we go ahead and...
No, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Because I'm kind of terrified what your pick is. Because you haven't said a word of what this game is.
I'm excited about Halloween time. I like me some creepy games. Yeah, but I think Life is Strange is going to be really great. I think this is a really good pick, Nick. I really do.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. Thank you guys for listening. This has been a long episode, but boy, did we have to cover a lot of topics. Ton of exciting stuff down the pipeline. Once again, thank you all to all the support that we've been getting. The show has really blown up. You can send any emails to stateofsave@gmail.com. Once again, any 5-star reviews on iTunes or written reviews on iTunes, anything that helps get our podcast out in front of more people. The biggest thing you can do for us right now is just tell a friend. I had somebody ask me a very nice question. They were like, what can we do to help the show? What can we do to support the show? And really, it's as simple as just tell somebody. The more people that we can get the name out there too, the more potential people might enjoy what we're doing here and can play along. So, Life is Strange will be our next game. We'll be playing chapters 1, 2, and 3 for the next episode. Thank you guys very much for joining us today, and have a good one. Stay safe out there. Bye.